Hey guys, what's up? My name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. That is in the Netherlands. That is in Europe. I play Euroball. Welcome to the channel. For the last bit of the summer, I've been doing Friday videos for American football. I do vlog every single day, and soon here, shortly, Monday videos are going to start doing because I do everything the day after. So record, and then in the morning I edit, and then I put it up in my afternoon, which is for the United States morning. So practices are on Thursday and Sunday. So the next day after winds up nicely. We're going to be starting up here pretty soon as September is supposed to be coming around. I do know we'll get into that one, updating the schedule as is. Friday's video are always starting out with me sitting here with the helmets in the background, something themed around this, and we talk about football related content and the comment responses, so you can get like a little bit in case I have like a visual aid or I need to draw something up on, right? I don't know if you guys can see it, I have a whiteboard too. There's a playlist up there of Football 101 also, so if you have any questions about something, I can draw it up on a whiteboard, or I can show you some of my own gear as I have in the past. And then we move on to news and updates, so that's like NFL updates as things are going crazy right now. The Panthers have done a lot of press conferences, and I think it's going to be, we'll get into that one. And then any news on upcoming games, what to expect from like a Friday video will come up, and then you can realize that there's going to be a game day, and that'll be news on that one, how the league's going, if anybody's dropped out, or if we have a new player. Anyways, and then tonight I do have something. We're having more or less informal OTAs, so no pads or anything, just sort of get people moving and socializing and getting used to being busy on a Thursday night. Anyways, so, okay, comments. All comments. Jasa on 6 days ago, I did a short on how to take off your football shoulder pads, because a lot of people, I see a lot of TikToks and stuff where people are like, it's just so painful to get it off. So I literally just made a YouTube short to just pull my own pads off with a relative compression practice jersey. It's just blue with no numbers or anything. So also a lot of people complained that, oh, well, no, see, the sleeves and the shoulder pad right there, this stuff gets wrapped up right inside my armpit, and I still get my pads off. These are Zenith Element Hybrid pads, and they're adult medium, and this thing is, as you can see, barely fitting on here. This is pretty tight jersey for pretty tight pads, and I'm not a small guy, so linebackers shouldn't be that small. Anyways, he says, taking off my pads are the worst, and I was gonna like lead this into the joke of like, yeah, because you can't play anymore. That, it's sad, it's the worst, you take off your pads at the end of the game, you're not playing the game anymore. Win or loss, you're still not playing until the next time. Or you're taking off your pads, that sort of thing. But I go, he says, take off my pads is the worst. And I was like, so I responded, it's so easy. Oh, I know, but it's hard for me. Well, it takes a little practice. Maybe the jersey or pads are a little too small. And I know that's true. One time I had a jersey that I got from like a Goodwill from one of the local high schools, and jersey sizes are all over the park. Like the one I wear, number 44 for Hurricanes, is considered a small, but this is a large, but it's just jersey sizes are all over the place. That is an adult large. Am I wearing a youth small or an adult small? Is that a youth large? I don't know. Some places have weird marketing. And it's entirely possible that the pads are just way too constrictive. And I've seen a lot of people, especially receivers, they'll just get smaller and smaller pads to the point where they're like, their pads go like that. And it's like, I'm like, the only thing they're really able to do is like this. And I'm like, guys, stop. Stop. You need to, I know you don't want to reach up and do the big half circles with you, to catch the ball. You want to reach up and do that. But if you got to reach out, that's much more restricting this way. Yeah, it's nice and sleek and probably good for like a running back who wants to hold the ball, but sometimes people wear the wrong pads because they're looking for a look, not functionality. And his school may have given them wrong pants. Not everybody measures correctly, and I do have a video about that. He says the jersey is small. Again, I don't know if that's the actual size or the jersey's just too small. But when I chose 44 for Hilversum, it was just right. But with Corona, not exercising at all, gym bulking, trying to get back from physios and just be like, I need to put on muscle, so I'm eating lots of protein, lots of everything to build up from this nearly torn tendon in the shoulders just to get the muscles worked up. I've been bulking a little bit. I'm not a small guy to begin with, but it just doesn't have the same fit as 4 years ago. He also responds on last Friday's video. He just got new gear. I keep checking his profile. He says he made a video about his football helmet, but I just don't see it. Like I said, I was willing to go check it out, but I just don't see it on this channel. Same video, Wild Warrior 14, same, I'm playing at quarterback. Someone says I play a game tomorrow with the varsity, and the day after that we have a JV game. Well, that's pretty cool. That's Mr. Ted's. The ever-present football suit-up video gets a wonderful kinds of comments. We're going to go through some really crazy ones. Why do you keep smacking your ass? It's a nice ass. I've heard the whole thing, but it's like, it's not a big deal if like the bro is smacking the girlfriend's ass all the time, or if the girlfriend is smacking her boyfriend's ass all the time. But when a guy is smacking another guy's ass or his own ass because it's a good ass, it's apparently not. Is it homophobic? I don't know if they're talking about that one, but it's. Why can't a guy smack their own ass? Jossa asks again on a different, not a football video, but a different video. When I gave my husband his birthday present, he says, why is it so cold in the Netherlands? It's summer. It's because somebody is still dealing with Fahrenheit. Probably said it was like 28, 29 degrees, which is when we start putting in the heat plan for the Netherlands to make sure that people know to close their blinds and make sure to keep the house as cool as possible because we're going through a heat wave, because we're looking at like upper 80s, low 90s. I had to go home and check because I've lived here for 4+ years. I kind of don't really know the Fahrenheit anymore. If someone tells me, hey, it's going to be 90 tomorrow, I'm like, whoa. But I don't think that the temperatures out there are in the 90s or in the 80s. I think of it in the 20s and the 30s and the 10s. So it's weird, and I'd probably even do the same thing if I went back to the States. I'd probably still think of it in Celsius, because it just makes a lot more sense. Roboham 90 on that same video, he says he didn't know he bought everything needed for football. I'm like, no problem. Somebody's trying to flame me on another one of my shorts. I know you can't hit, you built like an ice cream cone. Comments are engagement. Someone else, Eli Osorio, that helmet is fire. It's this one. Football helmet comments, Braden Hadley, you're a goat, thank you. Ruto Uzumaki asks if I'm playing for a college. No, when I was in the States, I only played in semi-pro. So now I'm here, another person on the football suit. Your drip is horrible. I don't care. I didn't care then, I don't care now. If you're caring about your drip, you care about what others think of you more than you think about yourself. Well, I'm just trying to look good. For who? For you? For someone else? So in case someone snaps that sideline picture, that you look really good for their picture? Come on, really? What's this about? Did a shorts a while back, about a year ago. What shoulder pads do I use? It's the Zenith Element Hybrid, adult medium. Someone asks, Amari Williams, can you use them as defensive and offensive linemen? I mean, I don't see why not. They're good enough. They have a bit more mobility. They're lighter than lineman pads, but depends on what age you are. You may still be able to get away with skill pads as a lineman, because it just all depends. Sometimes lineman pads are much more intended for like center defensive tackles and guards. But like the offensive tackles and the defensive ends, you could probably get away with the hybrid pads like I have. Dixon asks, what position do you play? I did not say in the football uniform suit up. I was a cornerback. I did not like that position. I tried to make it the best of it, but now I'm a middle linebacker. And that's that for comments. Okay, so now on to news. We're going to start with Netherlands stuff before I move on to the Panthers. So last year we had kind of a double league going. It's very awkward to play double leagues. It like 1 or 2 games in a preseason or during a break can be understood. Like we usually have a December break. So if we had like 3 games and then like an out of season, let's go play a game in Belgium in December and stuff, that would work. But if it's double league, the AFBN and the BNL, nay. It's too long and trying to work in. So many teams are pulling out of either the BNL or the AFBN. I mean, it's impossible. I'm not sure what the crew are actually doing. I do know that Arnhem and Groningen have pulled out of the BNL because, especially with Groningen being so far north and there's more Belgian teams joining, it just means a lot more drive for them, and even on the away games. And they were already struggling last year to begin with on team members, and especially ones that wanted to travel even to Flevoland. But anyways, so that's that. And I think our team decision is going to stick with the AFBN because it's much more meaningful to play within the home country than it is an international league. It was fun with the BNL. I mean, that's where this shoulder thing really got bad. I couldn't move my shoulder after a game. And that was down in Belgium. So, yeah. And so I heard the news will be, we will pick one or the other. It's most likely looking for, it's either a long season. So the BNL wouldn't have that many games to begin with. It doesn't have that many teams. AFBN would have like 10 games. So that's probably what's going to happen, and it won't start until February, March. So we'll have a lot more practice time than getting a couple practices in before October games and then we're immediately going in. Then we have a long break, and so that wound up costing a lot for at least like the Panthers. And I know because the Panthers were going really good, and then December happened and we took a break and there were some lockdowns and people just didn't come back to the sport. So they had to forfeit the rest of the season. And then Flevoland, same thing. Almere, they had to forfeit also, and that happened this calendar year after the December break. So hopefully we will be able to start up and be able to get more consistent games from like March to July, and have much more practice season to get people going. I personally know that maybe if I get a bit injured, I can take a longer break rather than feel I must be ready for the next game in November or in whatever. Like that's the only thing that really saved me was the December break. I do not know what teams are necessarily coming back. Like I said, our season last year was like October 3rd all the way till July 3rd. That's a long season for the Netherlands. I mean, think about that. Even in high school, you guys are playing like September to November. You know, if you're playing past Thanksgiving, I think, right? Thanksgiving. That's late November? Yeah. You're in the championships. And even the NFL doesn't go too terribly much farther. Like, they start in September and they go till February, and they have like 16 games. You would imagine us going from like October 3rd all the way to July. That's insane. Even with a December break of all football stuff, and then January having no games, it still has some lockdowns. It was awkward, rather than having like 2 or 3 weeks in between games. While that's great for healing, it is a very large commitment to people who are not paid to play. In terms of NFL news for the Panthers, we've got probably Baker Mayfield heading up there. And it's going to be great. Browns will get their shot at Baker Mayfield in week 1, according to the report. And it feels funny. That Sam Darnold was the quarterback for the Jets for a number of years. and then got picked up by the Panthers, and week 1 they played the Jets. And they asked him, what do you think about playing the Jets? He goes, this league is a show. It's all for the show and the stuff. And so that's now the Panthers' week 1 game is the Browns, so they took the Browns quarterback. It sounds so hilarious. But I do hope that Mayfield will, put the points on the board. He'll make the connections and stuff. Again, I'm defense. As long as he's putting points on the board and the defense are not, my job is to not let the other team put points on the board. I'm good. Just do his job. He doesn't need to be, magical. But it does look like that, like I said, Baker Mayfield will be starting, but Darnold is probably not. He's staying on board. Subscriptions, because I fall. Yeah, Baker Mayfield video explains the perks of joint practices. Sam Darnold talks what he has learned from joint practices. So it's one of those things. I haven't been as glued into watching the practices and seeing what's going on and watching everything. Yay Panthers, and I'll watch an actual game when it comes on the NFL International app. But in terms of that one, that's going to be on Panthers schedule. Yeah, that's going to be on 11 September. Yeah. The Americans. Anyways, might skip the beginning of that game. They're going to be all sad and teary-eyed. But then, they got the Giants the next week, and the Saints, and then the Cardinals. So it's just 4 weeks straight of Panthers football. Before a bye week, 2, 9, 16, 23, dang, 36. Do they have a damn bye week? Maybe not. I have to look at a calendar. I'm not going to do that right now. I will see you guys out in Hilversum. I got a couple hours before I even have to leave. And yeah, I'm going to finish up lunch here. Okie dokie. Welcome to the Netherlands, where you never know how to dress. Considering I probably won't be getting home till 10:30, I decided to wear long sweatpants. But right now, it's still in the lower 20s. Ugh. Plus exercising. I already did the exercise, and I'll do the stuff. See what I can film something. We're doing ladders.